Hello and welcome, dear Gnostic Takeover community, and welcome to a new video update. And we wanted to take the time here to reflect upon the happenings in this country here. As always, me, Steve, and Eril,
Hello. Hello.
and we want to dive in to some crucial aspects of what's happening all around us, and just give you a little bit of a perspective on what's going on here in Austria. And we wanted to take the time today because today is a very special day, isn't it, Errol?
Yeah.
And it's actually, I've realized yesterday, 3 months since I served a notice of liability to the Austrian president. And we had Age of Truth TV come over here to Vienna to film and also do a press conference afterward. And it just so happens that circumstances have put into place that we are doing a ceremony today with ayahuasca. And I think Errol can explain a bit about ayahuasca because it's come up quite a few times in our group also. And so I would like to have Errol on, and we'll later use a few pictures also to convey to you the main message and what we're working on right now. So I'd love Errol to explain a little bit about ayahuasca and what it makes possible.
Well, I can explain about our experience and how we use ayahuasca. The way we use ayahuasca and what we use it for is to go to the causal level of the physical symptom of the problem of what happens in reality. And we can resolve the problem on a causal level, which is the spiritual realm. So what we do is we make an intention according to what we want to do, and we do the ceremony, and we face what we need to face in the spiritual realm, and we change it from there, and then it manifests in the physical realm. So what's going on today in the world? It's a physical symptom of a causal problem. The causal problem comes from the spiritual realm. It's a war which has been raging for ages in the spiritual realm, and it's time to face it. That war is coming to planet Earth, and we have to step in now and resolve this problem.
Exactly.
That's our intention today. That's what we're going to do, and this is a big responsibility, because when we do so, we're dealing with the forces of evil, and we have to stand up to them, face them, and stand up to them in the ceremony. And what happens is, it's kind of like walking into their realm and reading them their rights in their realm and coming back intact. So it's a big responsibility.
And one that we had to really work on, and we've been working on, in my case, for 11 years. And it's a step-by-step progression. And I'm going in there today with the full understanding of the workings of natural law, and that we don't need rights when we know what is right and what is wrong. We are free, and we tell them their rights. We invert their inversion on them and tell them that they have no business on planet Earth anymore.
But the thing is, you have to be fully grounded, and you have to be strong enough to do this, to go into their realm and tell them how it is and read them their rights. This isn't a job for everyone. I mean, I personally have been training for this moment for many lifetimes, and I've been ready for a long time. And it's not the first time I'll be doing this, just to be clear, you know.
Exactly. So I want to dip in after this short introduction and use a few pictures to convey what we mean by all of this, because it's a grand picture and a big picture where a lot of dot connecting is necessary to alchemize and synthesize the information and see what is really the most important information we should be focusing on. And what we are asking basically is, what is the matrix? and move beyond that understanding of what the matrix is, and dip into also beyond what is the matrix. Why are we in this matrix? And then beyond that is the question, how do we transcend the matrix, which is an artificial copy of original reality? It is an artificial reality that is being created through digital dystopia.
It's an overlay copy which has been reverse engineered from the original copy to be used against the original copy, basically.
Exactly, and that's what the whole agenda, from all its narratives, no matter what narrative you pick up, what we're dealing with on Earth right now, that's where this is all leading to, and we should be focusing on this. And that's why me and Eril formed the Gnostic Takeover, because once you know the workings of the Matrix, you can start to really pull back the magnetically the power of the Earth to you, connect to the Earth, and with her get rid of forces of evil that are trying to destroy it, when it is none of their business to destroy this Earth. It only works with our consent. And when we step into that power, we make them go away, because humanity has the first say in all of this. So what we want to portray here is this picture, which describes it very well. So what we have here is the physical matrix, in which a lot of people are trapped through this whole crisis of 2020, going round in circles in thought loops over and over again and missing the point. And this is where we are stuck on the screen level of reality and never being able to move to the projector level of reality. So what lies underneath this tree is, from beyond the physical matrix, is a hyperdimensional matrix, where we've got occult hidden forces, which in ancient times were called archons by the Gnostics. And that's also the expression that I like to use, because archon etymologically means ruler.
Yep.
Someone who portrays themselves as being your master, when in natural law terms there is no master, there is no slave, there is only interpersonal relationships and how they are organized. So that's where we need to dip into, and that's what people, if people don't put that element into their equation and they think there's only just humans on this planet, you're missing the point, because this agenda drives far beyond any human imagination. We're dealing with other forces.
I mean, to be able to comprehend what this is all about, it's not a job for the mind, it's a job for the heart. It's an inside job. You got to go in. That's what this is all about. You can't figure what this is all about through the intellect. I know it sounds a little bit unfamiliar, but you have to go into your heart, and all the answers are there.
Exactly.
Isn't that right, Steve?
Exactly. The only access point for the whole matrix control system is only in the mind.
They can only control the mind. They cannot control the heart.
Exactly.
And this whole attack which they've launched is all on the heart.
Exactly. So that's where we drive in, because they do not possess the heart-based intelligence.
Yep.
So we trump them.
They cut off our access point to our hearts, and that's when they can manipulate and control our mind, and that's where they get us, you see.
Exactly. So we need to move beyond what lies underneath the surface level of reality, like the iceberg model, where a lot more is hidden underneath the water. And that's the state they want to keep humanity in. Keep humanity in victimhood, confusion, and conscious or unconscious sadness at the fact that we let psychopaths run the world for a evil force. And it's a very, very long story of hardship and tragedy that has happened to this planet, which we give our hearts to change every single hour of our day, every single minute of our day.
And the thing is, everybody knows what's going on. Everybody knows. But there's only denial of what's going on. And where the denial aspect comes in, do you want to talk about that, Steve, or shall I talk about it?
Go on.
The denial aspect comes in through the victimhood mentality, which basically comes from, as I was speaking about earlier, severing people from access to their heart and their heart intelligence, and trapping them in within the mind, the physical mind. So what they're doing is they've been controlling the mind through different methods and ways. But now the real mind control comes from what we call electromagnetic pulse weapons. They have an electromagnetic weapon system. I'm not even going to mention 5G. You know, I mean, 5G obviously ties into this, but it's not just 5G. It's an electromagnetic weapon system which they have manufactured to work as a counteract weapon system against the heart intelligence, because the heart itself is an electromagnetic radiator of pure organic orgone energy, which comes from the source of creation. So it pulses, and every time our heart pulses, it brings in life force energy into this realm, into the world. And what they're doing with their weapons is counteracting that to make sure it doesn't come in, you see. And once they've done that, they can use it to control the minds of the masses with it as well.
So it's very sophisticated what we are dealing with here, and we have to remember that this force has its weakness, which we drive at and put salt into that wound in order for it to heal, because only the initiated ones are going to change anything. And a lot of people stay stuck on the mind level of this matrix, as we saw before. Yes, there is a world crisis going on, and there's all different aspects to it, but you're never going to get anywhere when you're just going to stay there. Oh, and there's this doctor that's come forward who's now saying this and that. It's all narratives by the matrix to keep us in the lower left. You see? Maybe yes, no, there, just the mind. And that's what they create. They create narrative thought loops. They don't care what narrative. If it's true, they love you to have in that narrative, as long as you don't move to the truth. And not just on things that are true, but the actual objective, on the absolute realms occupying truth. Are we going to change this? And our minds will keep us trapped in all sorts of narratives not to move to the heart, because that's where the pain lies. And that's where the emotional intelligence slumbers, and we need to awaken it.
That's where the solution comes from, the heart, which is why they have us trapped in the mind. Then they can spin narratives and constantly make us focus on resolving the problem from outside of ourselves. So we look up to experts, doctors, scientists, politics, technocracy, you know. But that's all controlled opposition. That's all a part of the problem. That's a part of the circus. The solution is not going to come. The solution for the system is not going to come from within inside of the system. It's going to come from ourselves, from within ourselves, through our heart intelligence. So it's time we opened our hearts again and started working and operating on heart level.
The matrix is a system, Neo. Doctors, lawyers, the very minds of the people we're trying to free. But as long as they still have access to that system and the system has access to their minds, they are our enemy, whose minds we're trying to free. It goes way beyond anything we imagined. And now it is time to rise and ascend. That's when we see that we have the first say in any of this. The one race that has always been put down, that has always been put into victim mentality, and we are the evil. Humanity is a virus on this planet who needs to be culled. But you know what? That's how we go into their realm. That is the true power that we have, because we are intrinsically connected with the planet and the planetary intelligence, which connects to the source itself. That is the truth. And that truth makes us understand and realize that we have the first say in all of this. We are the pure power that are taking the planet back now.
Yes, I mean this picture right here perfectly depicts what true ascension is. We've been painted a picture in our minds that it's all blue skies, colors, roses. Yes, it is. But before that happens, this this has to happen first. We have to stand up to them, and this is what it looks like when you stand up to them. You enter their realm and you read them their rights.
Exactly. So this is an urgent message for us, and we'll continue doing our work because it's all about transcending the matrix of the mind, and connect to heart-based intelligence, the only access point to the source and to our planet. Human beings take responsibilities, the message of the planet. That's why in this system, the self-correcting mechanism of the system is through liability, which is a different word for responsibility based on monetary terms. So we're here to take back the planet. We invite everyone to join us on this endeavor. There are no experts here. There's only human beings like me and Eril that are honest, because that is an aspect of heart-based intelligence. No experts. No one is any better or any weaker than you. You yourself are the power of the force. And we need to realize this and
It,
enact it.
it's us, and it's always been us. We were originally put here, or should I say, we originally came here to Earth as human beings to act as guardians and protectors for the planet and life forms on the planet. So we're the ones who nurture life on the planet and protect it. But that's why the attack on humanity, on the protectors, you see.
And we're now moving into a very interesting time. No one knows what's going to happen next. We just continually do our action and let go in the swing of life. You can't always be in action. You also need to let go and activate the magnetics, because action is electric. Then the magnetic to withdraw and let things come into balance again. And we don't know what's going to happen next, but we have a very strong feeling the first domino is going to fall in Austria. Please, dear world, prove us wrong. We're going to take it back anyway. And we're going to tell that dark force that time is over, because they have served the purpose of creation as the involutionary force for us to awaken, and now they have to leave. No more suffering.
I think that's already happened in Austria, to be honest with you. The first domino, Austria, already has fallen, because last Saturday we did a big what was supposed to be a demonstration, but I call it a big, massive ceremony, including 60,000 human beings, maybe even more, at least 60,000. We basically initiated them back into their humanity, Before that, what we did was we activated a major portal, which is the portal of Vienna. It's a portal within the land. We activated that portal and then we walked around the ring. It was a massive ceremony, and the control system are going crazy now because they can't close that portal again. So what they're doing now is they're having to flee Austria. So that's making space for all the good people to come forward in Austria and unite together to keep the control system and the controlled opposition of the control system out of Austria now. We're kicking them out of Austria. It's goodbye.
Goodbye to all the experts.
We have the police on our side now. They're all with us. You know, we sit there and we speak to them. They ask us who is who, and we tell them who is who. We're working together with the police. It's so beautiful. And they're right, Steve.
Exactly. It's absolutely beautiful. And we want to also do a video on that because there's a lot of detail to how we activated that portal and how that information was conveyed to us, how to do it. And it's amazing. It's just amazing.
This is a very important subject. Obviously, we're not going to have enough time to dwell into it properly in this video. So we're planning to do a separate video just specifically talk about how that works.
Exactly. So stay in your space. Realize, as I said in the Age of Truth interview, do the Vitruvian Man of Leonardo da Vinci. Spread out. You're the pentagram, the upright pentagram. And no one is allowed in your space. Hold that space, that energy, and show your true humanity to your human family, to your sisters. We're uniting now, but the real human way. No experts, no scientists, no doctors, no lawyers. Humanity. And that's the key. The basis has to be right, because if the basis is not right, Archon infiltration. And taking it out of the equation.
If evolution comes from the people, not from the experts. Experts are the system.
Which is the very problem.
Exactly.
So, looking forward to see you soon again. Until then, take good care. Be blessed. Bye.